The case that broke the FBI's mind. A killer sends encrypted letters to the police. The FBI unleashes its cryptographers and still fails. He writes in riddles, murders in broad daylight, then disappears. The Cipher outlived the killer, and the Bureau? It never cracked the case. This is File 13, where truth is buried beneath the redactions. It began in December 1968, a quiet road outside Vallejo, California. Two teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, found shot beside a parked car. No robbery, no motive, just methodical violence. 7 months later, Darlene Farron and Mike Mageau were shot in a lover's lane. Mageau survived just long enough to hear the killer claim responsibility and call it in. Then it escalated. On August 1st, 3 newspapers received nearly identical letters. In each, a confession and a demand. Publish this cipher, or more will die. He signed it with a circle, crossed through like a sniper's scope. The 408-character cipher was split between the papers. Symbols, triangles, backward letters, arranged in a 3-part grid. This is the killer. I like killing people because it is so much fun. That line, once cracked by a pair of civilians, was just the beginning. The killer would go on to create several more. One would remain unsolved for 51 years. The Z340 cipher, delivered in 1969, was a stream of chaos. No key, no clue. It stumped the FBI, NSA, and independent codebreakers for half a century. Only in 2020 did a trio of amateurs from Australia, Belgium, and the US finally crack it, with modern algorithms and pure obsession. But by then, the killer was long gone. The Zodiac didn't just kill, he corresponded, bragged, threatened school buses, mailed bloody scraps of clothing. His letters referenced previous crimes and possible future ones. If you do not print this cipher, he wrote, I will go on a kill rampage. The media fed the frenzy, the public panicked, and the killer thrived on the fear. He even ranked his victims, scribbled 037 on letters, as if keeping score. The FBI's behavioral analysis unit was still in its infancy. What little profiling existed struggled to grasp the Zodiac's mind. Impulsive yet calculated, boastful yet reclusive. Several suspects emerged, most famously, Arthur Lee Allen. He had the right background, lived near multiple crime scenes, and was identified by surviving victim Mike Mageau. But DNA didn't match. Handwriting was inconclusive. Other names followed: Richard Gaikowski, Lawrence Kane, Ross Sullivan, all dead ends, and the killer's identity stayed a ghost behind the code. Internal conflict paralyzed the investigation. Local police departments, Vallejo, Napa, San Francisco, all owned pieces of the case. But without a central database or unified task force, evidence never aligned. The FBI's lab analyzed ciphers, fingerprints, even voice recordings. But none gave a definitive match. The Zodiac was careful, controlled. He may have killed only 5, or dozens. He may have stopped, or simply stopped writing. Either way, the Bureau never caught up. The Zodiac forced the US government to rethink criminal intelligence. It reshaped public fear, inspired Hollywood, spawned imitators. The FBI eventually developed VICAP, behavioral profiling, and real-time communication systems because of cases like this. Yet still, the Zodiac's full cipher remains a partial mystery. Some believe AI may one day decode the rest. Others think it's a red herring, never meant to be solved. One man, one pen, and one code changed the Bureau forever. So here's what we know. The code was real. The bodies are real. The mistakes? Permanent. But the name? Still unknown. Would you have solved it if you were in the room with the cipher? You're watching File 13, Faceless Stories, Fearless Crimes. Subscribe and see what we redact next.